Money, I'm home. Welcome in. I'm Lynne Jarman-Johnson with Consumers Credit Union. From finance to fitness, we have it all. And today we have such a special show for you. It really focuses on partnership, but also on making sure that people are well in their homes as they grow older. One of my dear friends, Richard Kline, is here. He is the Chief Executive Officer of Milestone Senior Services here in the West Michigan market. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Lynn.
And we also have Betsy Loeks. I get to work with her every day. She is the Vice President of Marketing here at Consumers Credit Union. And you know something, we have built such an awesome partnership here at Consumers with Milestones. And what has happened and what is transforming in the older adult population is incredible. Now we know for a fact that baby boomers have now become the largest group. And what does that mean? I'm right at the cusp. So I am at the age where I am still considered a baby boomer, older adult, and I'll tell you, life really does change when all of a sudden you start to age. But our organization that we have here in West Michigan is amazing. Richard, tell us about it.
Thank you for asking. The first thing we're very proud of is that we've been serving the community for 60 years this year. We started out very humbly from a church parishioner delivering meals to seniors in her congregation that were isolated. She knew they needed some support and some meals, so she would deliver meals out to her fellow parishioners.
Wow.
And that's how we started. And we've built it up to over 23 programs. And it's really our mission is designed, these programs are designed to keep people safe in their homes, creating a really high quality of life for them, and most importantly, choice, so they don't have to choose an institution and not have any other options. So
we're really going to talk about how houses can be adapted and why you are doing this and how important it is. Betsy, I want to ask you though first a little bit about Consumers' partnership with Milestone. I know that you are serving as a volunteer, but also our own Consumers team members, we volunteer weekly.
Yeah, I'm lucky to help Milestones as a board member and volunteer my time there. But as Lynn mentioned, we as a consumers team get to volunteer weekly with the Meals on Wheels program. So we have a person who signs up every week through a coordinator, and they get to hop out and actually deliver the meals to the people, which is really fulfilling. Consumers is very mission oriented in helping serving the community. We're also supporting capital campaign, but additionally that's different to actually see and greet the people you're having the connection with. I think
Absolutely.
It's nice.
What is important is we hear about senior citizens and older adults who really want to stay in their home. They want to age in place. It's not easy sometimes.
Well, we do a variety of things. So as you age, you lose your friends. Sometimes you lose your family. You find yourself isolated. As you mentioned, change. That change is slow. It's subtle. All of a sudden you're not getting out to shop, you're not making meals, you're not getting the nutrition you need, you're not getting the exercise you need, you're declining. And what our services do is we come around that and support you in that process. And it's an inevitable process. Everybody does it a little bit differently. It's never a one-size-fits-all, but we're well equipped to assess each individual and what their needs are and help put in place what they need to stay in their homes.
Now, as someone decides, okay, this is what I really need. I need to stay in the place that I feel, the most comfortable and safe. When you look at things like, okay, I'm just going to take an example of you wake up in the morning and you're older and you stand up and, okay, this does happen to me right now. And all of a sudden something is different. Like my leg doesn't move as fast as it did, or maybe my balance might be off a little bit. That is absolutely normal in aging. But what you're saying is, there are things we can do in the homes that you're doing right now for older adults.
So today I'd like to focus on our home safety modification program. And that is where we can come into a home and assess whatever safety needs are there. It could be a loose floorboard or rug that needs to be tacked down, or it could be an electrical issue. It could be an accessibility issue with a wheelchair ramp. There's just a variety of things in your home that could be low cost or no cost that are going to keep people from primarily falling or having any other accidents.
Falling is really something that needs to be highlighted.
It does. And, you know, really to make the point, and it's not my point, these are some statistics from the Centers for Disease Control, and it's focusing on adults over 65. And from falls alone, there are 36,000 deaths a year. Emergency departments record 3 million visits, costing $50 billion. And you mentioned the silver tsunami, the aging wave of boomer. It's going to double that by 2030 to 101 billion. And if you do the math, that's only 7 years away. So that's really to double from falls. And the falls from the injury from falls is the leading cause of death in folks that are older, 65 and older. So
it leads into perhaps a hospital stay that then leads into maybe other health issues.
That's correct. We talked about 36 million falls are reported a year. So it's not hard math to do, and falls aren't a normal part of the aging process. You can protect yourself. You do the exercise, you get the proper nutrition, and you do the home safety assessments and make sure your environment's safe. It could be lighting, lighting on steps. And sometimes, you know, you've lived in this home for 40 years, you don't see those things anymore. So it's great to have somebody come in, a second set of eyes, and look for those things like, oh my gosh, how do you get up and down these steps in your garage when the light's burned out and there's no lighting?
And you don't think about it, right? It's just there.
It's just, well, you've done it.
Yeah.
You know, when you're
Take it
younger,
for granted.
you know, you're younger, it's no big deal. You can take those steps 2 at a time. Right. But as you age, it's just inevitable that that decline is there, that change is there.
I do like the point that you're talking, though, about, you know, there are things not only to have you come in, but also the stretching and balance coordination for older adults is really important, too.
And I'll stay on that point for a minute, Lynn. From the CDC, this isn't from us, but from the CDC, you know, talking about falls, being preventable, being proactive, part of their 3-step process, you can find this on their website, is to speak up and talk with your doctor, call people that can help you. The second thing you can do is stay active from the CDC. That kind of makes a lot of sense. And the third thing is make your home safe. And we just talked about that. So,
Betsy, you were on the board, and you were talking before we actually started taping about learning things that happened in your own family that you hadn't thought about.
Yeah, my father had a stroke early at 60, but he had to use a cane and eventually a walker before he passed. And it was really eye-opening, you know, as a young 20-year-old to see, oh, we have to now make a modified step in our garage for him to, you know, put the walker down. There had to be grab bars added to the bathroom. And we had friends and family that could help us do with that, because I wasn't installing those. My dad did those things, and now he's the one affected by this. Right. But what a great resource to have Milestones here as a resource to call and say, hey, we've got this going on. How can you step in and assist? And that, what a great service for folks who need that.
And family is such a blessing for that support, but not everybody has that family or that neighbor who has that eye out. So I just encourage people to be proactive, think about that, give us a call. And again, these compared to that $100 billion of cost and the cost to your quality of life, if you fall and break a hip, you're out for 3 to 6 months. And that's precious time wasted that, you know, for a $20 grab bar could have easily been avoided, or that inexpensive light that you installed.
Richard, I know that you have just finished a beautiful remodel over at Milestone Senior Services, and you're offering the programs you had mentioned, which are multiple. How can people reach out and ask questions? And perhaps it's caregivers. You know, it could be children of parents.
Yeah, I think our website is probably the easiest way to initially look at the variety of services that we offer. But you can particularly look deeper into each program on our website. It's www.milestoneSeniorServices.org.
Well, I can't thank you both enough. What a great opportunity to spread awareness about the fact that we really can make a difference one home at a time.
What we're finding, Lynn, is the community partnerships are making all the difference, and I can't thank Consumers Credit Union enough for the weekly volunteering, the board volunteering, sharing your time and talent with a lot of your staff who come and help with meal deliveries every week, and really reach out and touch people in the community. And if we just can't be as effective as we can be as an organization without our community partners, and it really gives us a lift.
Well, and I'll tell you, there's not a single team member that doesn't feel the same way back at you, Richard, so thank you.
Thank you.
Betsy, thank you so much. Thank you for watching and listening today. I'm Lynne Jarman-Johnson. I'd like to thank Jake Esselink for his production skills. And I'll tell you what, if you have a need in your home or you just have a question, reach out to Milestone Senior Services. It is absolutely a life-changing call that you might make. Thanks so much for listening today.